Alrighty guys, welcome back. Last video we were playing around with Seth and our little go-kart here. Did some kind of time trials around the yard, 60-foot times in the street. Now, I do have a new carburetor, our little air cleaner, and intake manifold setup. We will be installing on this engine, kind of get some more testing, play around with them a little bit more. But today, Mustang is back on the rack, and that is because I've got a new transmission cooler sitting here. Now this one is a 16 pass. The one in the car is 8 pass, which it actually did pretty good with this car. I mean, we've done some driving with it, of course. Seemed to do okay with cooling the transmission down or keeping the transmission cool. But since I've installed the trans brake and had this car out playing around, it does get a little bit warm, and I want to kind of try to cool it down as quickly as possible, especially going through the run. So, bought a 16 pass here. It is a little bit shorter this way than the one in the car, but as you can see, it comes in loops all the way around, so it does get more passes through the cooling fins, which should make up for the fact it's a little bit narrower, but it is the same height. So, I'm hoping to get that installed in the same bracket that I made for the one that's already in the car with the least amount of modifications. Kind of make it easy, get it in the car so we can get out and play with it. And cooler is not the only thing I got going in this car. I have factory shocks or factory style shocks in this car. So I have decided to upgrade to a set of Calvert drag shocks. Now these aren't like too high end. They're just 9-way adjustables. Anyways, I'll get them out of the box here shortly, go through everything, or let me see. I know, suspense, right? Comes with all new bushings and hardware. More bushings. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this transmission cooler off to the side. This is kind of difficult with one hand, but there we go. Boom, got the little die there. Now this adjusts rebound. I don't know if you guys can remember in some of my videos where I'm using the foot brake or I go to leave, the back of the car separates between the gap between the tire and the corner panel grows, so the body's separating from the tire. Now from what I understand, that definitely takes away from forward motion. These shocks are going to help me kind of correct that to get all the power going forward. So I will be installing those. And yeah, we'll get them done, get this thing out. Definitely got to get the laptop hooked back up to this car as well. Last time I drove it, it was breaking up because the new gears are loading the turbo up differently, so it's putting it in a different part of the table. Now this has all been one major learning experience for me, and I definitely appreciate all you guys hanging out, watching as I go through and learn and struggle and bang my head against things. I am having fun with this. So, go ahead and I'll get inside the car right now because I've got to get underneath those guys there to get the top bolts out of the shocks. Then I'll get the car up in the air. We'll go ahead and get the bolts or the nuts off the bottom of our leaf springs, get the shocks changed out first, and then we'll come back and start going over my new transmission cooler. All right, shocks are out, and as you can see, I do have one sitting up in place already. Now it is just sitting up in there, nothing's bolted. Here's our adjuster. Now they say if you're running a trans brake with these guys here, setting 1, 2, 5 would be the best. So I just put this little guy on 3. You can see up in there. And that's where we'll start off. That way we have adjustment to loosen or tighten it up. And you can see here, I just have the nut sitting up there. It's handy. Still got to put the other one in its place. But I wanted to kind of show you a size comparison between the two. So there is our factory shocks, or factory style shocks right there. And here is our 9-way adjustable. You can see they are pretty much the same length, maybe a slight difference, but pretty close to being the same length. And here's another neat little thing, in case you guys didn't know. These little bushings have two little like locators on them. One's big, one's small. Now factory's probably the smaller one, which will help keep it centered. But you can see there, the aftermarket one here has the larger hole, so I use the larger locator on the bushing to help keep it centered. Same with the hole in the floor. So now that we got these shocks out, I'll go ahead and put the other one up there, get that set up into place. Then we'll come on over here, start working on our transmission cooler. I'll go ahead and get these lines off. We'll get them draining in our bucket over there. Go ahead and get this, all these little mounting screws out, the ones that I put in, get those out of the way. We'll get the fan out as well. And then we'll get our another cooler, our new cooler, set up in that bracket. See what I need to do to kind of mount it up without doing too many modifications to it. Get the hoses re-ran. But so yeah, go ahead and I'll get that shock set up in the place, get you set up on the stand here, and we'll start moving our cooler. Alright, got the transmission cooler out. I got the new one set up into place. And let me show you what, it actually fits fairly decent. Let me show you what we got here. So, there's how it fits inside the bracket I previously made. Now our hoses do fit, but I had to move it just a little off center. That's okay. Fan still sits up there, covers everything it needs to. I did have to make some longer spacers. That way we're able to use the fan here to help clamp it into place. Just hold it down. And everything, our cooler will be sitting on some of this kind of like 1/2 inch by 1/4 foam weather stripping. I actually picked it up at Lowe's. I think it's used kind of like on doors, seal around doors, or I don't know. I picked up the one in the house because I thought it would work out for me. I did get it at Lowe's. So, but go ahead and I'll get the stripping along the bottom of our cooler. That way it has something soft to sit on and it help kind of absorb a lot of the vibrations this car makes. We'll get everything bolted back down, everything plumbed in. So, the next time you guys see me, we should be on the streets with the laptop. I'll have this guy with me. Hey. He'll be helping record. These two are up hanging out with me. Guy Bailey. Yeah, Tina. Everybody's hanging out. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is raining right now, so hopefully it quits raining pretty soon. But anyways, go ahead and get this cooler back, all strapped in, all bolted down, get everything secured. That way the next time you see me, we'll be on the street, playing around with the tune a little bit, and seeing exactly how well this thing works. All right, me and Delilah are in the car. Seth cannot join us, he had other engagements. Poor little guy forgot to tell me. So he's a little disappointed he couldn't be with us. But we got Delilah. She's going to be watching the computer for me, holding on to it and doing some recording. I'm not going to get into it too much right now. Still want to let the car warm up, let the transmission warm up before I start beating on anything. So we're just going to take a quick little cruise, head up to our gas station, grab some fuel, and then we'll start playing with the car. So hand you over to Lila. She can get some shots on the way up. And here we go. Well, we're all fueled up, actually quite a few miles away from the gas station. We took it out on the freeway, played around with it, had some fun. I have been playing around with some of the numbers on the computer here. All these here, like these used for, this number here used to be 65, this used to be 80. I'm just slowly ramping up my numbers to get the drivability where at least it's not at 15 while cruising. I'm trying to get it within the 13.5 area. So far I'm getting pretty close, and it is cruising a lot better than it did after first installing these gears. So we are pulled over right now, just letting the thing kind of cool down. I will tell you, 331s on the freeway in this car are excellent, and the takeoff with the new gears and the way it loads the engine and the turbo up freaking is awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to get this thing on a track and be able to turn the compressor on, put some boost to this thing, because right now I'm just on gate. And she's having fun videotaping, watching me play around. So gonna sit here for a few more minutes, let the car cool down a little bit, because it is hot. I even can't see it now. I had a little bit of must have been some oil dripped on a header or something. It worked its way up the column. Had a neat little puff there, but it is hot. Everything's running above 200. Engine, transmission, the air temp's at 120. So, and I have water in it. I did make sure the pump's running. So we're under the shade. We're gonna let it cool down. So we'll be back here in a sec. We'll be back on the road. We are back in the shop. I will tell you, driving that thing with 331 gears in it it's so cool, especially on the freeway. I think it was probably cruising around 75, 80 miles an hour at about 3,000 RPMs, which is pretty good. The car likes the gears. I like the gears, like the way it feels, like the way it pulls. We managed to get a lot of the drivability tuned into it, so it's much better. It's not leaning out too much when I get into the throttle like before. If I really nailed it with the gear change, it would get into like the 15 something, and that's way too lean. Right now I can stomp on it and it goes into the low 12. So that it pulls, so that's good. Shocks did good. Actually, I forgot I even changed them. They seem to feel pretty good back there. Transmission temps stayed really consistent. Right about, actually it ran on the freeway and through town as long as I was moving at 203, which is a tad on the warm side, but that is okay. The engine ran at 203. My intake temps were 122, which is pretty hot. It is a hot day today, so it wasn't keeping it from getting hot, but it was keeping it from getting like too hot, if you know what I'm saying. So it was drivable. Nothing really overheated. It just ran warmer than than it probably should. But everything was that way. And then once I got up to into third gear, cruising about 45, 50 miles an hour, where everything was moving, temperatures would come back down. I think my trans temp went into like 190s. Engine temp stayed pretty consistent at between 200, 203 in that area. That's where it liked to stay. And that engine always runs around 190, 200 anyways. So that's good. But my air intake temps, I think as low as it got was like 100, 110, somewhere in there. So I will tell you, it even got so hot that this poor phone camera shut down while she was recording. So figured if it's hot enough for this thing to shut down, then it's probably time to come back. Let everything cool down, let everything sit, go over it, check it out. Everything's good. I'm extremely happy with what we did with the car. So now I just need to get in gear, get that trailer cleaned up, get that thing in there, and start taking it to the track, start taking it to test and tune, start adding some boost to it, have some more fun with that thing, and start working on our cheap LS budget build, whatever you want to call it, the junkyard build. So, but I am going to end this video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this helps encourage some of you guys to get out there and work on your stuff. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect, right? And as long as you're doing it, and as long as you're learning along the way, how could you go wrong, right? So, again, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks again. I'll catch you on the next one.